enjoyed the conference? A lot has gone into it.
There are opportunities for everyone in this room here to be engaged with the council and really help us fulfill our mission.
But look around this room today. There are a lot of influential and powerful women. While all of us might not be recognized, there's still that character there that we want to honor today. So for me, when I think about mentors, I think about those that are long-term cheerleaders, but I also think about those that for a moment in time, and I call it a moment in time in a brief season in our lives, that changed the course of history.
You know, R.V. Lord is one of my favorite authors, and she said it's not our differences that divide us, it's our inability to accept and celebrate and recognize those differences.
You know, the one thing you hear, mentorship relationships is so important. Someone that you can, you know, if you don't always feel that you can be your authentic self, someone you can be your authentic self for, you can ask them, what do I do?
I have every right to be here as anyone else, and please don't throw that stereotype on me. Now, interestingly enough, the people who do the stereotype on me were other African Americans.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole other
challenge.
Everybody has some baggage. There's a sick parent, there's an ailing child, there's divorce, there's drama in everyone's life, right? I don't care who you are, how you deal with that and how you deal with it in the workplace affects your ability to move ahead. And having all these different experiences teaches you how to deal with that professionally, you know, courageously, and, you know, affirmatively.
When we talk about bad managers not understanding the value and the differences of people. So I think the quicker that companies are to embrace generational differences, the quicker they are to address them, the better off they're going to be long term.
Three things you have to be to provide my niche. You got to be patient, you have to be compassionate, you got to be tolerant. If you're not patient, compassionate, and tolerant, you're going to miss my niche. Mrs. Chisholm, my godmother, wrote here, she wrote the foreword in my fifth book. She said, well, aim high, think big. You can be anything you want to be, but aim high, think big, and never ever let anyone tell you what you cannot be.
Do you think that that's a quality of a good leader or a bad
They
leader?
say you don't know. I mean, you can find all kinds of nice words, a way to put it, or put it to a person that you can say, I have ideas on this, what do you think? There's different ways to do it, but you should never be afraid to say you don't know, because you don't know everything. Whether you want to say it or not, we don't know everything. And it's a sign of humility and that you are open to learn as well.
Socrates said the unexamined life is not worth living. We say the unexamined life is not worth acting. So in many ways, I want to encourage you, challenge you, to use this conference to have some self-reflection, introspection, challenge who you are. How much do I know about myself? And how much of what I do, who I am, is infused with who I am, all the aspects of me. We are informed by what we see, and we perceive people by how we see them perceived on television and film. The things that I want to share with you in terms of becoming leaders or becoming better leaders, if you're already a leader, is that you got to connect to where you're from. And you can't go into that corporate environment or any environment, for that matter, and deny who you are, because it takes away from your contribution to that corporate entity. I want you to think about, in this conference and what you have been exposed to be open, not to a confirmation of what you already knew, but a discovery of what you don't know. So we have to change the way we teach and allow for different ways for people to learn. So that is my exhortation to you today, is that you find ways of getting involved in education. Happiness is not achieved through self-satisfaction. It is achieved through a dedication to others and to something bigger than ourselves.